Hi, I'm Sam.
And I'm Poppy.
Welcome to the NutriFit Podcast, where we talk all things health, fitness, nutrition, and living abroad. Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of the NutriFit Podcast. Cheers.
Could be colder.
Could be colder. It is Thursday and we're currently feeling pretty tired, aren't we?
Yeah.
It's coming to the end of the week, which is nice. But I just think, I don't know, I think the more caffeine I drink as well, the more synthetic caffeine I drink, the worse I feel.
Yeah.
Like I'll say, I'm going to drink just black coffee and I'll start on that. Like Sundays, I don't normally drink any caffeine. And so Sunday this week, I didn't drink any. Then Monday, I think I had a coffee before work and then maybe an energy drink at work. And then slowly it becomes 2 energy drinks at work. And then now it's like I had 2 coffees when I got to work.
Yeah.
And energy drink a couple of hours later. Then a C4 when I've got home and it's only 5-6 o'clock.
Gosh, you're worse than me today. I thought I was doing bad. I think
No.
mine's that whole thing. Do you remember when we saw that TikTok you sent me, and it was like having caffeine, having my coffee post breakfast has changed my life because I'm no longer tired in the afternoon. I feel like
that it was ADHD thing, wasn't it?
Was it?
Having protein before my coffee changed my life because I don't have the ADHD symptoms or something like that.
Really? I think, I need to get back into that habit of where
because
don't drink
Alkaline give you that drink, don't they? I don't know if that's pre-coffee or pre-breakfast or whether it's just
pre-food.
Yeah, but I always try, if I'm in the right state of mind, to be like, I'm going to put the coffee machine on and then drink our juice. And try and like get some nutrients in. But protein before should be good. Because realistically, I'm not sure it's for everyone, but I think we've stayed away from eggs more than we would have at home. Definitely know that eggs don't agree with me. And so my breakfast is very low protein. It just involves cereal or toast, or because if you're not eating eggs, you have to cook like a piece of chicken or a piece of steak for breakfast. Yeah. And I don't really like yogurt. Yeah. So or a protein shake.
I know,
protein
I have a
smoothies
lot
would be
of
nice.
Protein
powder.
But I always think as well, if I have a really sweet breakfast, the rest of my day is sweet. Yeah. And I won't eat savoury. Every meal I want something sweet. Yeah. So that is another, I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's just psychological, if that's actually because you programmed your
thing?
Taste buds for the sweetness, then that's what's like activated for the rest. I don't know if that is a thing, but
is it to do with spiking insulin because you haven't had any protein and you eat something like synthetic sweet carbs? It's going to go right up and then come right back down, so then your body's constantly fighting against it for the rest of the day.
Caffeine.
Whereas if you have like fiber and protein, it's going to like go.
Yeah.
I'm bad for it when I'm tired.
If you watch that, I was like putting that down.
Yeah, if you listen to the last episode, you'll hear like a gong go off every now and then, and it's actually me putting down a can of Coke on the side. So we're trying to prevent that this time. Yeah. Look at our good vibes sign.
Yeah. So those watching.
Yeah. For our huge audience. So we got some questions. Initially, we were just going to do a podcast about a topic and leave the questions to the end, but we got one question in particular which we really liked. Yeah. Because
thought stirring.
Yeah.
Is that the right word?
It's Chloe's dissertation.
Yeah.
I've never done a dissertation. I was thinking today, I don't even know what a dissertation is. So let me explain to you what I think it is.
Okay.
Is it where a person, obviously I know it's to do with university and you have to hand it in and you get points, but the actual document that you write, is it you pick a question or a topic and then you go around and look at other studies and try and collate data, put them all together, and then also give your opinion? Or is it non-opinionated, just data?
Yeah, you can do a meta-analysis, which is the one that's where whatever's out there already, you collect it all, go through a process of elimination of what your title has, like keywords, and then break it down and get like, say from 1,000 studies, you get like 500. And then you go through all the statistic analysis to then create, say, whatever they're looking at. You're either for it or against it. And then the stats will either say no, there's no difference. They're like female hormones and menstrual cycles and like exercise.
Yeah.
There's too much here, and here that you actually can't say that exercise affects like your menstrual cycle or so and so.
Yeah.
Or you can do like a full-on scientific study. So you could then say take a rugby team and conduct your own experiment, and you could do a dissertation based on your findings from that.
Yeah.
But hers, I'm guessing, is through, she'll either do a questionnaire, survey, find her own data around loads of people that are affected by eating disorders, get people to fill out a questionnaire and do a response based on that, or she'll have a look at other people's data, which I don't think would be that much based on the question, but there could be. I mean, my first dissertation at uni, there was only 20 studies for me to research, so it was really hard because it was such a new, it was pre-sleep protein.
Yeah?
Yeah, before it became big.
Nice.
I did my dissertation on pre-sleep protein. So there was only like 15 studies, but there must be loads now on it. So I must think hers is either going to be tiny or it's going to be her own.
Yeah.
Which would be quite cool.
Mm-hmm. So the question is, do we think the rise in, do we think that social media influencers giving bad fitness information out has led to a rise in eating disorders in teens, I think?
Yeah, in adolescence or something, wasn't it? I don't know. Big question.
Yeah, we wanted to start talking about it yesterday, didn't we? And we kind of said to each other, let's save it. And I did write an answer out to you originally and deleted it. And my answer was, and I don't know how, if I'm just missing the question here, but I think the media in general has always published false or proven in the future to be wrong nutritional evidence towards one thing, whether it's keto, whether it's Atkins, whether it's like how fat is bad for you, don't eat butter, and they constantly contradict themselves. And so these are huge platforms that at the time everyone was watching or reading, such as the newspaper or the news, when there was less accessible media. And so to think these huge platforms used to promote false data, it's hard to then go and say, social media influencers are leading to the rise of, eating disorders. But then at the same time, I think Instagram, as we know, and as a lot of people will agree, has led to like body image issues, because it's a lot easier to see something and be like, I want to be like that. At the time when those big newspapers and stuff were writing about Atkinson. I've got a question off Ross actually, but we'll come to that at the end. Atkins and other fad diets, they didn't have like sort of bodies to go with it. They just had, this is what it's good for, and so then you're not looking at that and correlating, this is the diet and this is exactly how I look when I finish it. So I think that definitely does lead to eating disorders, seeing something and being like, oh wow, they're doing that, and so that could be me. And so those false, we've seen it the other day with Des when she won keto coffee. Now I think that's quite an American product, but it's just, I mean, people in Britain do take it, but I think more people in the British fitness industry will turn around and just go, all coffee's keto if you just drink black coffee. Because
we looked at the ingredients, didn't we? And it literally was just coffee. There was nothing else in it. It made me laugh.
And
it's just like instant coffee.
Yeah. It's just a bit mad, but I think those products do lead to eating disorders. because you're shuffling all sorts of stuff in you.
Yeah, it's a tough question because, like you said, ages ago there were magazines, and there probably was less social, like, celebrities, but the ones that were had all those like hourglass figures, or you go back to like the really skinny model phase, where people were just seeing that, they didn't see the other side. Whilst now you've got the balance of, well, you haven't got the balance, but you've got two extremes of like extreme fat people that are potentially body loving versus like super skinny people versus really muscular people. Do you think does it balance more than it did previously, where it was just one person, whilst now it's like hundreds of different types of people? So you get almost like a holistic view. But then you've got that thought that if you like a certain thing on Instagram, your explore page becomes just that. Like my explore page at the moment is just affirmations and like positive quotes, because that's all I like click on. But if you were someone that was constantly viewing super skinny people or super fat people, whatever you wanted to be, it's constantly there in your head. And like you said, it's way more accessible these days. That probably on a whole, I would say, it does contribute probably to more eating disorders.
Because the other side of the spectrum, which I don't think anyone looks at because they're kind of scared of getting cancelled, is when people always look at body image and eating disorder issues as people who are super skinny and can't gain weight. But then now is going to be a flip side of that, of people who are, obese, and it's one of the biggest causes of cancer and the biggest killers, and no one talks about it because now we're in this stage of we need to love our bodies and I'm super healthy. And it just kind of goes against a lot of data. Like there is certain levels of body fat where you can be overweight but still healthy. But you can't take that to the extreme, and then when someone says it to you, go, I love my body and you shouldn't be shaming me, because
you see so many of those bigger fitness people who do promote for like big companies now as well, and they're like loving their body, but just because they exercise, say like 20 minutes a week or something, they're an unhealthy physique, because you can tell by the amount of body fat on them, but they're in that self-love phase, so no one can really tell them that they're doing wrong. Actually, if you looked internally and got like stats of blood, they technically are unhealthy.
And then I think that's where the capitalism is thriving off that movement, because they then hire oversized models, or plus size models, I'm not sure what you're supposed to say, and then they promote the clothes, and then people who are actually unwell and that size then go, I'll get them clothes and I won't do anything about my weight issues, because Adidas wouldn't be promoting this if it wasn't healthy to be me. And so it's a tough place to be in. And I think that's where social media doesn't help.
Because the one thing I do hate on social media at the moment is the whole, when it's like the one cookie thing, but you want 5, and then people are like, well, just have the 5, like, love your body, you're allowed to eat what you want when you want, it's intuitive eating. But actually, if you have like 5 and then 5 and then like every day you have 5, versus that balance of like 1 here, 5 there, 1 there, you are just going to become fatter, and then it's unhealthy again. But people are calling it intuitive eating.
And it's that snowball effect, isn't it? Of when people started that, what's that diet called? The acronym for it, where you can eat whatever you want. I don't know what it's called. But basically, if it fits my macros, that's it. If IIFYN, if it fits your macros. People started doing those videos saying, don't shame foods, don't say the word treat, don't say the word cheat day, don't say the word. And so then people stopped seeing things as treats, and so then it became like an everyday food. then you're not looking at the psychology behind eating these things. So like what I keep going on about the dopamine effect of being addicted to dopamine, and going from TikTok to Instagram to eating sugary foods and you're just snowballing. And then when it comes to not being able to do big tasks and not getting rewards out of doing things hard, everyone wants stuff fast. No one wants to actually put the work in. It's because the same amount of dopamine you'd get from doing a big task, you're getting throughout the day constantly, because you just don't stop feeding yourself little bites of it. If you think about it, they literally, in like say 100 years ago or whatever, is it 100 years ago, maybe even like 60, 70 years ago, say like a factory worker, there's no phones there, you go into work, you're going to do your work the whole day without any sort of media. And then you'll go home and you'll eat something like potatoes, protein. It wasn't as easy as today, where you're on your phone throughout the whole day, and then you go home, and maybe on your way home you'll stop off and get a iced coffee with loads of sugar in, and then you'll get home, you might have food and dessert. No one's clocking that that's actually having an effect on your brain as well as your weight.
We kind of said that though, didn't we, when we started our cut? We kind of stripped it back and we were like, why are we stressing over having really good food every single night? They're like really intricate recipes. And you're like, why don't we just strip it back to like bodybuilding, where you have meat, veg, carbs, and then on a Friday, we go for our bigger, nicer recipe. But why'd you have to have it every day of the week? And I think that is.
And that's exactly where I'm at again now. It's like I've circled back around. I was eating, rice and stuff this week. Granted, it's cold in work, but I was like, I'm so emotionally attached to eating food that's now like sugary or tastes good or like intricate recipes, that when it comes to just chicken, rice and veg, I can't eat it. And it's not, I keep having the battle with myself where I'm like, I am hungry, aren't I? And I'm like, am I hungry? Am I bored? Why don't I want to eat this? But I would go and murder like a burger and chips and loads of food, and my body's like, you could eat all that. But when it comes to a little box of chicken, rice and veg, my body's like, not that.
It's weird, that, isn't it? It's that whole emotional versus physical thing that I posted the other day. But that's both. Do you know what I mean? Because you're physically hungry, but your body's almost switching off the hunger unless emotionally you get the really nice food.
No, exactly.
Which is a real weird state to be in, because obviously if you were physically hungry, you think your body would be like, oh yeah, let's just eat that because it's here. But yours is like really battling against you to be like, no, we'd rather not eat.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm hungry.
And that's that whole thing of, is the addiction to dopamine more ingrained than hunger is? Am I that addicted to dopamine that my body's going, that's not going to give us any, so don't put that in us. Go and find something that will.
Yeah, that is wild. It's a minefield.
And so but I think social media obviously leads to that, and false information from influencers in both directions can also lead to that, because you're getting their content, and then they might be like, we can fix you if you eat this keto coffee, or you shouldn't change your diet because you're beautiful the way you are, not knowing who's on the other end of the phone and what they're actually going through. They consume that, and then they go dopamine, and then they go, okay, I'll stick with this eating disorder.
It's tough.
It is tough.
Especially, I don't know if I was going to go with that. I was like,
because we couldn't deal with an eating disorder, with a client with an eating disorder, because we don't really have qualifications in dealing with clients with eating disorder. You have to have qualification, and that's why we can't go too deep into definites. We have to just give our opinion on the whole thing.
I would love to deal with that, but to get like a psychology degree and do the whole cognitive behavioral therapy side of stuff, I think that would be so interesting. But like you said, you do have to have like a good qualification behind you for that. But that would be, I always thought that would be so interesting. But
let's see what
there's another small group of people on Instagram, not very big but small, And I hope we eventually fit into it. But it's when people are now saying, like, if you want this fitness journey, you do have to make sacrifices.
Yeah.
Because some people just like will see, oh, she lost 10 kilos or she's now done this. But actually, if you broke it down, what they do each week, what they have slightly got rid of in their diet to get to that result, it is tough. So people go into the idea that, oh God, because I've got this program and because I've got this person helping me, it's going to be easy. But there's some people on Instagram is like, no, you do have to put in that determination. You do have to show up. You do have to make good changes to your diet. It isn't just you get this program and you're successful, because otherwise you'd be where you already are.
Yeah.
But I like
and that's
people
what
that
one of our clients said to me this week.
Yeah.
He stopped doing what was asked of him because, for whatever reason, life gets in the way, stress gets in the way, and it's important to sometimes be supportive and be there, but other times be like, get your act together, get in the gym. It takes, I think I said to him, it's 3 hours a week. You're only doing 3 sessions a week. That's 1.3% of your week. You can't give me 1.3% of your week to get better. And he, when we had our phone call, he was like, and that sort of aggressive message you sent this morning. And then he went, well, not aggressive. And I was like, look, there's times for me to be like, it's okay. Just go again tomorrow, draw a line under today. And there's times for me to turn around and go, no, put the work in now. I can't do this for you. But yeah, the prime example of it is Beard Meats Food. We constantly look at him, don't we, and go, how can someone who's eating that much 2 or 3 times a week be that skinny? And it's because he only said on one of his videos, I eat salads for the rest of the week. I'll eat salad every meal for the rest of the week. But for 2 videos for YouTube, I'll go and consume 10,000 calorie meals. And that's how he's skinny. And then he's going to the gym. I think he gyms and runs every day.
Yeah.
And so then you're like, if you just followed his Beard Meats Food Instagram or YouTube, you'd just see a guy consuming 10,000 calorie meals. Whereas behind the scenes, he's working his ass off to burn it all off.
Yeah. Which you can kind of see with him that he must do something like that, because if you compare it to like the people he gets on next to him, then they're big people. They clearly don't do what he's doing. They just eat the food.
But you said it about that Randy Santel, didn't you? Because he put a clip up of him last time he did a food challenge and a clip of him doing it this time. And you were like, oh my God, look at the shape he's changed, because he was muscly and then all of a sudden he's got a big belly. And I think that comes with age as well, doesn't it? Once your metabolism slows down, once you stop being as active, whether it's joint pain, whether you just fall out of love with the gym, whether work gets in the way, a lot of, things come into play as we get older. So you can't, that's the one thing that scares me, I think, the most about ingraining a good fitness routine in.
I was just about to say, it's having those like strategies and tools that hopefully stick with you.
Because everyone looks at them videos of 70-year-old women and men training who look sick, and you think, I want that to be me.
Yeah.
But then in reality, no offense to family and friends, you look around and there's none of them in my life who are like, wow, you are shredded and muscly and can still be so active and bend over and jump and do backflips. Everyone has got some sort of mobility issue, some sort of injury, a bit of a dad bod, which, it's in style at the moment.
Each to their own.
But yeah, I think my goal has always been be that jacked Santa looking guy with a big white beard and muscles.
There's one of them in one of the gyms I train at. And he's dark, like he's tanned, but that's not his race. Like he just looks like he sunbeds all the time. Grey hair in like a man bun. And he is like the Rock size, and he comes in like his like vest and like short shorts. I think he's 65 at least. But he just looks, and he's huge. He must be on stuff. But
like a lot of people,
because he's like so defined, and he does look old at the same time. Really weird, but he like walks around like a square, but fair play to him, he looks good whatever he is. But he's like a grey dude.
So if you could summarise an answer to the question, or summarise what we spoke about, so we don't have to listen to 25 minutes just rambling, what would you say?
For the question of social media influences eating disorders?
I think I'd say misinformation has been mass pushed out since nutrition became a thing, because data constantly updates and new things come into play and new ways of testing come into play. And so things that were once like the holy grail then become, pushed out because people are like, that's so false. But I think the access to media and also the access to degrees, online courses, things that give you credibility, buying followers. You can buy, I don't want to call them out, but there is a page I know in Liverpool that have 1 million followers, and they just came out of nowhere. And they're, I'm not saying they're publishing false information, because actually what I watch of them is good, but all it takes is someone to do the exact same thing and give out false information, and they'll go, but 1 million people wouldn't follow them if what they were saying was false. And it only takes 10 out of 1 million, which is what 0.001% to go, probably more than that.
That was a really weird number.
But 10 people out of that million to go, we're going to listen. And then potentially they could end up with serious health problems or whatever they're pushing, whether it's a product, whether it's a fad diet, whether it's their program. That's all you have to do. Say you've got a couple of qualifications, buy a couple of followers, push it out to the masses. You can even obviously pay to promote your stuff now, so it goes on loads of people's pages. And like you say, once you start clicking on one thing, social media is going to bring up the more. So then that's the snowball effect of social media and bad information, because you've liked one person's. All the bad information goes, oh, if you like that, look at these. So I do think that would definitely...
The accessibility of social media.
Yeah.
Because like you said with the whole factory person, I was kind of thinking if phones and stuff didn't exist, you'd still have the toxicness, if that's a word, in say high school and stuff. That was horrible for diet culture, and you'd probably still see it on the TV. But if you're a kid that just goes to school and comes home, but then their activity isn't scrolling on a phone, it's going outdoors or doing activities, you haven't got that 8-hour screen time a day. Some of my cousins have 9 hours of screen time, and 1,000. Yeah, but do you use Waze and stuff?
No.
No, okay. Okay, never mind.
It's not Waze that's started my screen time.
So my screen time is 6 hours, but in a day, half of that goes to Waze.
Yeah.
But some of my cousins are on it for literally hours. So they'll see out of the 8 hours, maybe 2 hours, if not more, is diet related.
Yeah.
That would impact you, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And if it's a viral clip, it's gone viral because it's doing something to the brain where people enjoy watching it.
Yeah.
I was reading a book today, or I say reading a book, I've read 2 pages of it so far. But what's it called? It's basically to do with concentration, but it starts with talking about how social media companies have hired psychologists to make it addictive, to give you that dopamine hit, whether it's from the noise of ding, or whether it's how it pops up or how you consume it. That's why TikTok and Instagram and Facebook all have the scroll down feature.
Yeah.
Because that's more addictive than swiping across or anything.
That's what I listened to in that podcast that was about the morning routine, and he was saying for you to start something, you have to have a trigger, and habit stacking is the best way to form your kind of thing. So with your coffee and journal or something, if journaling is what you wanted to do. But he was also saying this is why Amazon did that one-click buy thing, because it boosted their sales by 300 million, because it got rid of that procrastination process. And they said the same with Netflix, you just roll into just the next episode. And it's that whole you just don't even have to think about it. It's so easy to just go. That's why Apple Pay's so good. It's
because you can get it on all sorts of websites now, clothing, everything. You just go bam bam, you paid for it. And it's you're
it's
off
on
the
your
website.
watch. You literally at the water park, I didn't even need my phone, and we still can buy something. Everything is just made so easy, but it's all.
Yeah. Do you remember the Amazon button?
No.
You used to be able to get buttons. I don't think they took off, but you get a specific button for fairy liquid.
Oh, yeah.
And it would connect to your internet, and you just push the button and a fairy liquid would appear.
It's like Alexa, isn't it? You can say, Alexa, order this, and it would just come the next day. Ours isn't plugged in.
But yeah. So yeah, I think that...
Tough question, and I'd like to read it one day.
I don't think we've done it fully justice, because it's one you have to think about and go back to and listen to what you've said and correct yourself. And
it is one of those questions where you'd have to go and read all sides of the arguments, which is what she'll have to do.
Yeah.
And find that common thing.
And probably go into the specifics of individual eating disorders.
Yeah.
And what content and what sort of stuff would link to
which one's more.
One, yeah. But yeah, other questions we have 3 more.
Yeah.
Ross's question. Do you miss catchphrase swig?
Oh my god, my uni girls will be like, yes.
Yeah.
What a game.
Good game. Catchphrase swig is when you're at a pre-drinks and you put catchphrase on the telly. You can get it on YouTube, or you can go on Sky Plus and get the episodes or whatever. And then you're obviously watching and playing along. And if you get it right, you get to give someone a drink. And if they get it right, they get to give you a drink maybe. And if everyone gets it wrong, you take 2 swigs. It's a pretty simple game, but it's very addictive.
It's very competitive.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I do miss it. Definitely.
We could do it here.
I have done it here, but I played it by myself.
Nice.
Because I think you just walked off. You're like, I'll play it.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I think we were getting ready to go somewhere.
Well, that's fair.
When
I have 10 minutes to get ready, obviously I'm not going to do that.
So you don't remember the time, but you just said, I had 10 minutes to get ready.
Every time we've gone out somewhere here, I feel like I've had to rush to get ready.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
You procrastinate until it's time to get ready. Because I lie on the bed for 30, 40 minutes, and then as soon as I start getting ready, you'll be like, I need to do this, this, and this. And it's like, I've just been lying there, now I'm ready.
Yeah,
to you.
Probably.
Next question. Back onto more needed in-depth answers. Boothie asked, explain what you get out of helping other people achieve.
Oh, God. I feel like the answer's quite basic, but I think it comes from personal background of if I had the information from, say, a coach when I was first starting out, it would be so beneficial. So knowing that you're that person to someone to just make life so much easier, I think that is a good thing to do. Plus it's fun. Do you know what I mean? Getting to meet loads of different people, to chat and have different conversations. Like you say, when you have a client recently, they're so interesting, and you get to do this, you get to speak to people. It's just a very social kind of job to be in, but also the fun side to medicine, in the sense that it's a holistic way of, it's not using medicine, it's using lifestyle. I don't know, I think it's just such a crucial role in having a good life. It's quite a fun part to be a part of.
My answer is slightly different, because it's coming away from our job as in the fitness industry, because obviously that is rewarding, and you get those people who, the one thing I want to sort of move away from is the fact that obviously majority of clients pay and we provide a service. And so although it's rewarding to help them battle any health issues they've had, or help them reach their goals, I get a lot out of also, the free programs we do for people, or even away from fitness completely. Times where my friends had a business or had an idea, and I've been able to connect them with someone. I've been go meet them, or I can help you design something, and all that side of thing. I think for me, it's always come from a place where there's just enough to go around. There's always, you're not my competition. I think you have to have that attitude, in that you're not my competition, so I can help you. And you're that guy from that gym said it to you, didn't he? That nutrition guy. He said, I know way more than you.
Yeah.
And if I share all this with you, by the time you've learnt it all, I'll know way more again because I'll keep learning.
And that wasn't in like a patronising way. It was very much from I would love to share all my knowledge, but I'll always be like that step ahead of you, which is why I'm the best person to help teach you.
And it's that thing, like, I think it was, I can't remember. It was definitely a picture on Instagram, but it says 2 rules of success. Rule number 1, don't tell everyone everything you know. And I think you can do that and still help people. You know, you don't have to give them exactly your documents that you're using for your clients and how you're doing it and where you're going for this and where your supplier is. You just have to, you know, help them in the right direction and say, go look at this. This is where I started. I can connect you with this person. It doesn't directly have to affect you. And if you're confident enough in your own ability, which you need to be to achieve anything yourself, then you can help people so easily. So I think it's rewarding to always help others, because a lot of the time
you find that quite a lot here. I think that's what I found quite nicely, is that people that you meet here, if you're you have to be open with them, and I think you have to have quite like meaningful conversations, but as soon as you do, and as soon as you say something, they'd happily say, oh, well, I'll connect you with this person, or, you know, I'll share this for you. And I feel like it's got quite a nice atmosphere, because people are all here to kind of do well and be the best kind of person for themselves.
Kind of agree. But I think it's got nothing on Liverpool.
No.
I think here, and whether people are just so busy with their careers like we are, it's so easy to say, I'll connect you with this person, I'll push you in for this, and then they just don't do it, and you think, did they forget? Was it just a false promise? True. Are they busy? And so,
that's true.
But I think a lot of people do say here, I'll get you in touch with this person. And like that girl when I first came out, who I connected with from someone in the last job I was with, put me in touch with her. She put me in touch with, you know, that gym, and then the guy was a dickhead, so we didn't do it. But
oh, what a throwback!
That was a throwback. It was like ages ago, but it wasn't even like a year ago.
Yeah, that was wild.
But I just think if everyone can achieve, like, I've got that mentality of, even if I don't like you, even if I've fallen out with you, I've always said it when I've fallen out with people in the past, and people say, oh, why though? Or no, sorry, falling out with people, and then I've been like, oh, how are they? What's going on? I'm not trying to like find out about their life. What I do want is, if you were like a part of my life in the past, it's a saying that I say, which is, I want to see you eat. I just don't want you eating at my table. And it's that thing that no one needs to starve. No one needs to be in a bad situation. No one needs to suffer. I still want you to achieve, go down your own path and live the best life you can. I just don't need to focus on it. I'm not watching you. I'm not watching you. I don't care about your decisions, but I just hope you're making the right ones. I hope you're doing well. And so, that's what I get out of helping people achieve, is that if I actually do care about you, or I just think you're a nice person, even if I've just met you, and I can push you along a little bit, wanting to see everyone achieve.
Quite nice morals and good energy.
So, last question is from George. And George asks,
oh, I know this one, and I just don't have an answer.
What do you do to ensure a good work-life balance? I think for me, it's about not being too, because the obvious answer would be to say be very strict on yourself, but I think it's the opposite for me. It's allowing my brain to wander. It's allowing myself to have late nights, and the strictness comes on the other side of that. It's like happiness and sadness. If you're going to stay up late because you want to play with the boys, like last night, I was watching the football on the laptop and playing Xbox with the boys. So that's like a super high. Waking up at 10 to 7 this morning, 4 or 5 hours later, was like a super low. But I had to get out of bed and say it was worth it for last night. And I think that's what I do to ensure my work-life balance. Have non-negotiables. So make sure if you say today is this day in the gym, you turn up. if you miss it in the morning and then, you know, it gets to say 8 p.m. for me and I finish work, if I've said, okay, today's this day and I have to go, you kind of have to slap yourself on the back of the neck and go, I could have trained this morning. I was too lazy to go then. It's still in the same 24 hours. And so the only opportunity is to go now.
Give or take.
Yeah. And so,
bad days.
Yeah. I know. It's not, you're not, you know, being strict. It's the understanding of that mental tiredness versus physical tiredness.
Yeah.
If my body is absolutely in agony and I'm like, yeah, tomorrow I'm training this, and then I wake up and I'm sore, obviously then you don't go. But yeah, I think we've spoke about it more, and it's definitely always going to be a work in progress for anyone because it comes with priorities.
Yeah.
Like if you look at how we're actually managing business at the moment, we've done really well in the sense that we went NutriFit coaching at the start of the year, then we went NutriFit apparel, then we went NutriFit coaching a bit more, then we went back to NutriFit apparel,
yeah.
Then we went, and we just keep doing it like that.
Yeah.
Because rather than going NutriFit coaching at the start of the year and then going, okay, that can sit, let's just do NutriFit apparel. The best thing to do is just like one step at a time so it grows.
Yeah.
And eventually they'll both have processes in place and hopefully staff in place where everything's automated and, you know, they run. Yeah. But I think that's it. That would be my answer, is don't be too strict.
Yeah.
But have non-negotiables that you're like, okay, I get up at this time every day. I go to the gym at least 4 times a week. And on the day you're going to go, okay, today's the day. No matter what happens today, I turn up to the gym. And then, yeah, when you want to sort of indulge in something recreational, like playing Xbox or watching a film late at night, just give yourself that rest and say, you know, trade it in for tomorrow. And yeah, people, you know, always swing too far one way, and so it's such a hard thing. You have to set boundaries, don't you?
Yeah.
That's it.
That is it. I can't comment.
Yeah.
I'm not good with work-life balance.
No. But yeah, yours is a mental block.
Mine is a mental block.
Because I think I've probably by tomorrow, this isn't a flex, but by tomorrow I'll have worked more hours this week than you will in the next 2 weeks. And so it's about, you've got a lot of time to do the life thing.
Yeah.
But you just spend so much time in that like middle zone where you're in neither.
Yeah.
That you burn out and you get frustrated and yeah, it's hard. And I think that comes from being a mobile PT and being like here, there and everywhere.
Yeah.
It's that you could never just settled, whereas, you know,
I always thought that would be like a good dream. But I was only thinking that today when I was in that fit and glam place. I was like, actually, if you were here and you could like train someone, go to the cafe,
coffee shop,
do your work, train someone, and then you're just there, it would get repetitive.
Yeah. And then once you leave, life is life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, just don't have that barrier between anything.
And that's why I'd like to. Well, I don't spend that many hours at home anyway as it is currently. But if we ever did go full time in NutriFit, we'd have to move into a bigger place because you need, psychologically, you need that room that's just for work, so definitely. You can close the door and be like, work's done for today.
Yeah.
Whereas if you work over there and then we're podcasting here and then we go relax there, you know, it's hard to shut off.
Yeah, definitely.
So you need to kind of like.
I also think it's hard as well when you're quite like motivated, like we are, to do basically 2 jobs at the moment. I think as well, because NutriFit's exciting, but it is technically like part of it a job.
Yeah.
That even though we want to do it, like this weekend, like I'm excited to do it on Saturday, but then you
do feel like drained after it because it's work.
Because you work, but it's a fun side to work. You still haven't switched off, you still haven't relaxed, but it's hard when that's also the goal at the same time. I think that's what I struggle with. So although we're doing like fun NutriFit stuff, it is still like engaging and
and it kind of goes back to the thing we were talking about with physiques and weight earlier in the episode, and just being successful in general. If you've got a goal, and most people's goals are things that aren't easily achievable, because if everyone could achieve it, what would be the point in it? Mm-hmm. Then you have to make them sacrifices, such as long hours, working 7 days a week. Mm-hmm. They paint business and entrepreneurship, is that the right word, as nice cars, big houses, loads of money. What they don't realise is probably a lot of the entrepreneurs don't spend that much time at home, because they're in the office, they're working. And so, I think
the biggest thing I think as well is if you do have that like life section, like the whole no phone. I've been trying to do it, no phone past 9. It doesn't happen all the time. Mm-hmm. But when it does, completely different mental. And I think it's the dopamine thing again, because you're not having that like constant stimulation of something on Instagram that might not be that positive. That's not switching you off either. But if we like put them away, not dealing with messages, you're not seeing that like pop up from work that you could have dealt with like tomorrow.
Yeah.
Then you've got that whole, you can relax, you can watch the TV.
Yeah.
You can settle.
Yeah, definitely.
Just get rid of phones though. Mm-hmm. Because so many clients that now don't have emails on their phone.
Yeah.
They've just said no, because they know that if they wake up in the morning, the first thing they will do is check their email if it's on their phone, but to have to like go to your laptop and log on, it's a lot different. So if they know they start at 9, then they literally will start at 9 because they've just blocked all access. I think that's such a good.
It's good. It's hard when you're in a higher position. Managing the gym. I think I replied to a message from the boss at 1:30 a.m. the other day.
Yeah.
Just sat on the couch about to go to bed, and his message.
It's hard.
Mm-hmm.
And you've also, if you're dealing with people, like sometimes I have to deal with clients that I'm seeing the next morning. If they message me at like 11, but it needs a response, you can't just be like, I'll just message them the next day, because then they've missed their session or something.
Yeah.
So it is hard with certain jobs, but overall, if you could get that nice little balance.
Oh, we'll have it once NutriFit becomes full-time work in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah. NutriFit gym opens with the cafe.
And
then you'll be there probably 20 hours a day.
The club.
Yeah.
There's the
party for the club.
Yeah. There's the club that's a bit like Train.
Yeah.
But it's on the Palm, and it just looks like it's the aesthetics of it is just gorgeous.
Okay.
I walk past it all the time. I'm like, that's the dream.
Right, we're running out of time on this.
That's okay.
So we will call it there. But any more questions, please send them across. We'll get them answered, because that was fun. But I wanted to talk about falling out of love with training, so we'll do that in a future episode. But we're hoping to publish 1 a week minimum. Maybe if it starts picking up, we can do like a Patreon. Like I subscribe to that Patreon in the book.
Yeah.
And then we'll have paying subscribers, and it'll be great.
Dream big.
Yeah. All right. Catch you on the next one.
See y'all.